I can, but I didn't know if you could. So this is our last call. But it's sort of exciting. I keep thinking it's our last call, but there's Molly.
Hello.
Hi. But the cool thing is that it's also that means conference is coming up next, coming up, and doesn't we're really excited. So here's what we're gonna do. Tonight, let's do this. And what we always do, Molly, is we'll do this for Megan and Molly, because again, I think it's Sunday. We're in the middle of the summer. This is just sort of what happened. Stephanie Ryan just messaged me. She's got a migraine, so she will watch the recording. But why don't we go through and just with Megan, and then Molly, we'll pull you into this too. Tell what's going on this week. What good happened this past week? Well, we talked about recruiting last month, and last week, and we talked about what else? Bookings. We're still working on our bookings. So Megan, tell me about what's going on this week with your business.
Did you see Shannon's message? She said she'll be on in a minute. She's closing
she's closing a show. Yeah. We'll catch her up.
Well, I posted, I don't know if it's on this page or not, but my fundraiser, I wasn't getting a lot of sales. So I kind of panicked, but then I messaged everybody that either clicked going and hadn't ordered yet or clicked maybe. And there was 23 people total. I ended up getting about $600 worth in orders. So now my fundraiser is up to over 1,300.
I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I've been dying all day to tell you guys that. I'm like, oh my God.
Megan, it's that thing you'll know when she's paying attention again. Because the last time you were talking about your fundraiser, she was doing something else and she started to multitask. And
yes.
1,300, and she didn't have the initial reaction.
Shut up, Gary. See, they're always making fun of me, Molly.
Yeah. But Megan, it happened to Megan the last call. That was funny. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not going first anymore.
And peach pie. Homemade peach pie.
Oh, yeah. Put it right on screen. Thanks, Amy.
The flambe part.
That was in the baked Alaska. I really don't want any of that.
Yeah, having a little bit of it.
Yeah, not really.
Amy, we're working. This is what working looks like.
Yeah, this is what eating pie looks like.
Oh, snap.
All right, so your fundraiser's $1,300. What about others? Did we get any bookings from it?
I messaged some people about bookings. They're more into their orders right now.
Okay.
And then a lot of them, we go to a family reunion in August 10th. So they said, make sure you bring a calendar and we can set something up. And I said,
good. So we think they'll come around.
I hope so.
Good.
And then did Jen tell you that one of my girls, Tori, recruited somebody?
I did it on we were on the virtual event. She's a
You're
hot
eating your
ticket.
peach pie. Stop it.
Yeah.
She had 3 people on that virtual event to sign up.
Yeah.
So I think we need to see about her getting into the next program.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that girl, how does that work?
Number 3 for you.
Yes. Okay.
That goes towards your 5.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Let's go, girl. I can peach it out.
Stop eating.
Anna, focus.
I don't think they're Jersey peaches. I don't know who made them.
My God. Yeah.
Listen, if I'm going to eat it, I want it to be good.
Yeah, seriously. Wine and peach stuff?
Yeah.
Sunday, splurge day.
Oh,
all right,
that's Sunday in this house.
All right, Megan, that's awesome. No, I'm excited about your team, and Tori is a firecracker. That's really exciting, too. So, all right, so what about you, Molly? What's going on with you?
So right now I'm doing a lot of all my cooking shows have kind of backed out because I don't know, just change the dates or whatnot. But I set up a cooking show for August, and then I have a couple of virtual parties that I'm doing. That one's a fundraiser for the teachers from the graphic that I got, and then one. What is the other one? I'm doing.
Wait, back up. What's the graphic?
It was like the 10%, you'll donate your sales 10% of the sales to the teacher, to a teacher for their classroom supplies. So I like privately messaged a couple of like teacher friends I knew but not that well and offered it to them, and 2 of them picked it up. One was in the St. Louis area and one's around here.
So, one thing that I found out when I moved here is that everybody pays for school, public school, and all the teachers have to pay for all their own supplies.
Yeah.
None of that stuff is provided. I know, Megan. I come from a state normally that your public school is free. I mean, minus your basic stuff. And teachers never pay for supplies. And that it's a big financial strain in August with, kids going back to school and teachers having to pay for all their supplies. And the kids paying for their supplies. And if kids don't come, teachers provide that.
Yeah.
Do they do that here, Megan?
We don't really pay for anything. I mean, Jacob has a small list of supplies. And then everyone brings in whatever's on that list, and then the teachers combine it. And if a child, is short on something, or if they're short on something, sometimes
I wonder though, what does the teacher provide for in the room? Like, what is their responsibility?
The basics. So, pens, pencils, whatever. They can go above and beyond if they want to. Like Jacob's second grade teacher, she did a lot of fancy stuff, but they're not obligated to.
So that's a big fundraiser they do here in Illinois to try to help teachers. So good. Well, I'm glad you used the graphic, Molly.
So, yeah, I mean, and because basically my July, I haven't done a whole lot, so it was at least something.
Could someone post that graphic on the Business Builder page, please?
Yeah, I can.
That would be great.
Yep. Yeah, and it was only for like July or August, and it just said like virtual shows basically.
And the greatest thing is that you can do, if you can change the graphic, which I don't know how to, you can do it any month. I mean,
yeah.
So, but don't let Molly dumb it down over here. Hey, Molly earned another pedicure with me.
Woohoo! I'm so excited. I need one. I haven't.
I need one bad. I need one before conference. So
yeah. Let's try to find a date for that. So
Megan, something I do with my team is when I know Megan's like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, what am I missing?
Don't give Megan any ideas.
Sorry, Megan. Here, this is what I do with my team. When anyone on my team does more than 4,000 in sales in a month, I do a pedicure with them.
Wow.
So
That's cool.
It's something that I do because I don't treat myself to a pedicure that often. And I figure when I'm helping the people on my team hit those numbers and they're doing, what they do, then it's a nice little fun bonding. The last time I got my toes done, I went with Molly.
Yeah.
Fun.
Awesome.
So.
Well, that's awesome, Molly. So you are really, because are you a newer consultant?
Yeah, I started for Christmas. That was my gift to myself, I guess.
So almost a year then.
I was at Anna's, Molly. I was at one of the basketball games when you and I were talking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, were you? Oh, okay.
Well, this is my Christmas present right here, Anna. Mm-hmm. Except her screen says Amy because she's at her sister's house.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Well, that's awesome. Good. So we're setting up for August. All right, Shannon.
Hi.
Sorry. You got right in. No, that's all right. You got right in to tell us about all the good stuff that's happening with you this week.
So last week, I had a party and I didn't book anything off of it. This week, I booked 3 parties. Not at parties, I just booked 3.
Good, because you weren't through till you booked 2. So
yeah. And then went for the extra.
Good for you.
And just closed out a party, finishing up a virtual, running a grand opening virtual, 2 grand opening virtuals, and planning a mystery hostess one for August.
What do you mean? What other grand opening?
Rebecca was the one that signed before Jess.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good.
So, lots going on.
That's awesome. Again, it's good for us to be busy right now in the middle of July. That's the big thing here, is that to be doing, to be working that and to be at the place that we are and where you guys are right now, working so hard. You know that for July and August, what's going to end up coming from that. So
right. In September, I already know I'll be doing a fundraiser again for school. And I have shows booked for September.
Good. Good. Awesome. I'm so excited. What about, let's do, okay, let me just go, oh, wait a minute, the screen is all wonky. Okay, so this is exciting. So we're on our last call. So let's talk about what's the point of this last call. So I love this last call because of it's probably, I think, one of the most exciting parts of our business is if we stop and think about when we first started our business, how we felt when we first started that and ordered that kit and decided that this is what we were going to do. And for Shannon and Megan, this is your second time around too. So thinking about that too, even the second time around, even having some sort of an idea of what to do and what to expect, but still that excitement and that anxiety and that, just sort of getting ready to really kick things off. So this call really is that once we're really starting to recruit is what do we do with the new consultants? How do we get them off to a great start? And one of the things I think that, again, that I get so excited about as our teams start growing and we start, Megan, you have this new girl, Dawn, that just started this week. And Shannon, we've got Jess that just came back. And what was the other girl you just said her name was? Rebecca. Yeah. So that they just, you think about if we can put ourselves in their place that, not only are our teams growing, which is going to benefit us, but to stop and really think about what this business means to them. That's really where we need to go with this is to figure out what this business means to them and what they're looking to do with their business and what, a couple things. What does just even being offered this business mean to them? Because, we talked about that when we talk about recruiting and stuff. We talk about, just how important, how we affect people's lives just by offering this business to them. But so not only what does that mean to them, but also giving and empowering them to be able to now be a business owner. Because that's what you've done by helping somebody get started. You've helped them take control and to be a business owner, to be maybe a businesswoman or a businessman. I mean, these are big things for people that maybe, I don't know about you guys. I don't know if I ever thought that I would own my own business. That was always something that was way out there and exciting and stuff, but I don't think that I ever actually thought that would happen. So to think about that as well, that you've now empowered someone to own their own business just by offering this and just by offering this and helping them get started. I was thinking about how cool it would be, and Terry, maybe you can help me brainstorm. Huh? No. Maybe you can help me brainstorm this too on next one. There's that, we've done it at meetings before. Shannon, maybe you'll remember because it was a long time ago, where you do that whole power of one, that you're in a room of people, and like I would pull Shannon up and say, this is, just look at what this means. So if I help Shannon get started and then I pull Shannon up to the front, and then if Shannon and I both help somebody else get started, so Shannon and I grab two more people, and now there's four up there, and then if each one of them helps somebody, just how quickly that multiplies. And again, if we stop and think about what this business has done for each one of us and anybody that we just did that, Shannon, that try on the apron, and you posted on there what this business has done for you, and Cammie did, and I think Christina did. It's just all kinds of amazing things that have happened to people with this business that it's just exciting. Again, we're thinking about that it should be motivating. It should be inspiring that we should want to be asking everybody and offering this to everybody. But then again, stopping and saying, okay, now that they have gotten started, now that I've gotten and helped them to take this first step, what do we do now? How can I help them to be a success? And that's really where we want to go with this call. So again, as your directors, that's our job to do that. But your guys' plan is to be a director, so that's why I want to equip you with really the sort of points and how to go forward with that. So the first thing is, this is, again, just like anything else that we do here, it's not rocket science, right? Megan, you've already done it for a couple of people. Has Jen been really involved in helping your people get started, or are you doing a lot of it? Oh, I think you're on mute. Are you?
Yeah, I was on mute. Sorry.
Okay. That's right.
Jesus.
Did you hear something weird, Terry?
Was it Spanish?
Something, yeah, what is that?
I don't know. I heard it.
Yeah.
I thought Terry was
I'm
singing.
not speaking Spanish.
What is that noise?
Terry's lips were not moving for once.
Probably picking up something weird from here in this house. That's probably what's happening.
Oh.
All right, go ahead, Megan.
Tori is one of my friends from high school.
What is
You heard it.
Okay.
Who's got Spanish going on?
I know, right? That was weird.
So weird.
Okay, try it again. Try it again, Megan.
Okay. So I'm afraid she's going to come back on. I met with Dawn, Tori, and Kim at Da Vinci's, and we did a little one-on-one meeting. And then Jen did a meeting with us four. And then I just got off a meeting, actually, with me, Tori, Dawn, and Jen at 7:30.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have just had a lot of this kind of, going through the same kind of thing. And Jen probably, and Shannon's been a director before, so Shannon knows what to do anyway. But I sort of just let her do whatever she wants.
Que no lo puedo creer. No lo puedo creer.
That sounded dirty. I don't know what that was, but Jesus.
Oh, my word. Stop it, Terry.
It's not me.
It's Mike Nichols. This is doing something.
Mike, are you playing Spanish dirty stuff in the other room?
Splicing Spanish porn into our Zoom meeting.
Yes.
Because he doesn't know how to speak Spanish. No hablo español, señorita.
Lo siento saludable y es brillante. Me encanta. Suave fue encubierto para demostrar que los...
The little music at the end is kind of freaky.
It's not me. I don't know what it is.
What do I
calidad no siempre tienen un costo elevado. Estoy en shock. Suave. Pruébalo y lo creerás.
It's like a commercial, like a TV thing or something.
It is. It's got to be Amy because it's never happened before.
I think it's somewhere on this Zoom it's picking up something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't see a help button or anything to tell them, you know what I mean?
Every time Megan starts to talk, it does it.
When I do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll keep on talking until she comes on, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, don't speak in Spanish because she's ready to speak to us.
Right, yeah. Yikes.
Okay, so what I'm thinking about is when we have a new person come in, one of the things that, and I'm thinking about that, Jen probably does, what some of us already know, they talk about the 72-hour difference, which is a sort of a system, and that's out there. But I'll tell you that there's a couple things. I mean, I think that the best thing to do is to stop and think, when you were a new consultant, what is it that is the most important thing or things that a new consultant needs to know? Does anybody have, what would be the first thing that you need to work with a consultant to do? Terry Bales Nichols?
They need to get parties on their calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down.
You know, it's a lot of times when you talk to new consultants, they're like, I don't want to book any parties till I get my kit and then I know what I'm doing and I do. And one of the conversations I have a lot of times with them is we can't even talk about what to do unless you have something to do it at. So like we've got to work with them to have bookings. One of the things, though, even because that really is the point of where we want to do that, the conversation that I actually have with new consultants to start out with is what do you want to do? What do you want to make? Like to really ask them those questions, because, you know, we talk about bookings, but we don't even know what to give them as a goal yet until we have this kind of conversation with them of really finding out what their goals are. And, you know, especially Megan, when you start having your consultants recruiting other consultants, you're responsible for help training them, but you don't know them. You know, so it is like it's that same kind of a conversation of building a relationship. Find out about them. Find out what their family is, what their, what their work experience is, what they're doing right now, you know, and that kind of thing. And then the questions, you know, the two questions that I ask are, how much would get you really excited if you made in a month? If you could make with Pampered Chef in 1 month, how much would get you really excited? And give me a number. And then the next question I ask them is, once they've told me that number and I say, that's fine, good. My next question is, how many, if I had a basket of parties ready that you could just book as many out that you want, you know, you could just pick them and book whatever you want out of that. How many would you want to do in a week? I always ask them in a week. Don't ask them in a month. Ask them in a week because they can visualize that a little bit better. And that's when
Jen just did.
Yeah. So it's the same. So then you ask them those things. So then you can jive it. So if somebody tells you they want to make, you know, oh, if I just made $300 in the month, that's good. But then they tell you, well, I could do 2 shows a week. You know, to be able to tell them that, you know, okay, if you're doing 2 shows a week, you know, the average consultant's making about $100 a party. You're looking at not $300, but probably more $800 to $1,000. And I think the biggest part of that is that we can help new consultants to dream big. You know, to really be able to dream more, and we start that with them, you know, and say, what would you do? So you told me what you would do with that $300 a month. What would you do with $800 to $1,000? What would you do with that extra money? You know, where would you put that? What would you do with that? So that's, I think, a really important piece to working with the new consultants. And then the next step is, okay, now we have our goal. Let's talk about how to get those bookings and put those on the schedule. So that's really, I think, a really important part of getting new consultants started is getting them there and then starting to talk about bookings. And when you're talking about bookings, you now have your numbers, you now have your goals, but to definitely give them some words to say. I think it's easy for me, even being around for so long, to say, oh, just go on and ask for some bookings. Go on and tell them, you know. And I think by going through a conversation and saying, do you have stick-on dinosaurs on the back of your wall, Shannon?
Yeah. Yes, that would be, I don't know, can you see them now?
Yeah.
We bought them for the boys' room.
Oh, yeah? And
they didn't make it upstairs.
I all of a sudden said, is she in Bentley's bedroom?
No, he couldn't wait. He was too
excited. Yeah, good. But so just to think about, so now that we've talked, but giving them the words, and the big thing I think about giving them the words is the whole making it personal. Like we've talked about, you know, we just went through all the training on getting bookings. It's giving them those words of, it's just asking them for, making it personal. I thought about you because you love to entertain, or I thought about you because you love to cook, or you love to have people over, you know, would you help me and be one of my first parties, you know, giving them those words. The next part of helping a new consultant get started, I'm going to tell you, is putting them towards the PC University. If we can get them there, going through that step-by-step, everything they need to know is there. I can't tell you how many times people are messaging me, asking me about how to do, you know, return something that, you know, somebody got that's broken or something like that. And I literally am not going through telling them how to do it online. I'm telling them to go to training and resources, and then under web tools, there's just these little videos on everything they need to know about how to work the website. And I would rather them go there, because we know if they can find it, that, and find it on their own, that they're going to have a better chance of remembering that too. And then the other thing that we do, again, in our organization, and Terry is a part of this, so her group too, is that online Strong Start, the virtual Strong Start that we do. And we're lined up with directors to do that every other week. So you'll see that, your director will see that. And once you become a director, what happens is you get invited to it, and then you invite your new people for that week. And that's just a good way, again, that, whatever director is facilitating it just sort of walks them through and talks again about the 72 hours. So, but that means if you keep up with that every 2 weeks, new consultants that have started within those 2 weeks can get onto this training with other consultants and, other directors and stuff like that as well, to really walk them through. And, and I think that the biggest thing that, again, that I can say is that to help them dream big, help them to realize what they can do, that there's so much more for them here than maybe they can even think, but also just building that relationship. That's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing when we're helping other people get started, is we're just building those relationships and helping them to find.
Connor, I think he's
It's a man now.
I wasn't talking.
He's talking to Connor.
Is that what he said? I didn't hear Connor.
Yeah, he did.
Spanish Connor? Or was this Spanish or just no?
It was irregular. It was English.
So weird.
Regular. So sorry.
That's funny.
So, but yeah, just that, again, just building that relationship with them, because that's what's I'm finding more and more that, that having that relationship with them, that's what keeps them around. It's those consultants that get lost. And you're going to have some consultants that are going to go off and do their own thing. We've had them, Shannon, right? They're not coachable. They don't want to be coached. They just want to go off and do their own thing. And they're not going to want to get together and have a meeting with you and Jen and 3 other people. They're just not, that's fine. You sort of have to meet people. That's part of being a leader, is realizing that everybody is motivated by different things, but they learn different ways. But they also, just are going to do things at their own speed, and that's okay. We need all of them, and that's, again, the reason why we want to continue bringing people in every month, because, I think 1 in 6 of your people will be a superstar. Some of you hit your superstar in your second person, and that's great. But sometimes it does, just like we talk about a recruiting chart, it comes, way later. Has anybody, speaking of the recruiting chart, worked on the recruiting chart this week? Added anybody?
The 10?
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I've asked people. I've gotten all no's.
Okay, good. But you're filling in your chart then?
Yeah.
Good.
I didn't use it.
So you didn't ask anybody this week, Megan?
Not. It was in the messages, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like a single message.
Yes. And
You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of my thing, is I need to make it single messages.
Mm-hmm.
I think I give too much, like, if you bump your order to 75, you can get this for free.
Mm-hmm.
And the same message, I twist it, you'd make a great, consultant. And the same message talks about hosting a party. So I think it's too many questions.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And again, I think that sort of keeps it from being personal too, so it may be something that if you're talking to them, that's your in about their order, saying, hey, would you be interested? I just was noticing that you could get da, 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 da. And then, when they answer, say, oh, that's awesome. Now you're in a conversation. Then you could follow up and say, you would make an awesome consultant because da, 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 da. I would love to work with you. Have you ever thought about doing this? And then going into that.
Yeah. And
that's something that we've got to be careful of, again, when we're online, because we lose that back and forth that we do when we're, face to face,
Right.
So that is something definitely to keep in mind. So just to change your tactic a little bit that way.
That's
Good. Good.
I'm also using that for booking parties.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was talking to people at church today and during the potty break that, oh, what do you think? You should really have a party. Yeah, let me talk to my wife and we'll get back to you on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going Wednesday night and they're going to talk. And so I've been filling that in too.
Mm-hmm.
Making me more conscious of how many parties I have.
Well, that's what you said too, is that was the big thing about this in the first place, was that it, just even doing the recruiting, is that it keeps you, like you said, accountable. Like it's a game.
Right.
Like you want to fill them in.
Right.
Yeah.
And I worked really hard to recruit 2 people on Thursday, and neither of them would do it. So I switched tacks and just went to let's have parties.
Yeah.
And got the 2 bookings.
Perfect. And then, and you know what? You know that happens. You go to the party, right. They do the party, and then they, they do think that, oh yeah, maybe that would be a good thing.
Right.
So absolutely. That's awesome. Good. All right. That is really what I have. What do you guys think? Any other questions or thoughts or concerns?
I think my fundraiser would just went up to 1,400.
Yay.
See, we never give up.
Holy shit, man.
Good for you. So let me tell you this, what to expect from what's going to happen now. Nothing. We're not doing anything until after conference. However, this does not mean, I hope, that you think, okay, I'm off the hook from working, because just because we're not going to be having calls on the Sundays for the next couple of weeks doesn't mean not to be active, and not to, that you're not accountable, but that you still have this business going. Here's the big thing, that we probably are going to make a few changes. Terry and I have been brainstorming a little bit after the when we start it back up again, because we said that in this call that you can only do this twice, right? Is this your second time? Megan, second time? Shannon, your second time. Okay, Molly, her first time. What I'm thinking, what we've been talking about and what we're trying to play around with is actually start offering this as a step up your business, which will go through all of these basics. But then what to do with you guys is to take you into something and make it a director bound. And we just really focus on building teams versus bookings. And, we'll still be focusing on that. So we're just trying to figure out what medium or capacity or whatever that we're gonna do that in. So just hold tight for that. But because at this point you guys are in that, and we've got other people on the team that have gone through this a couple times but do want to build their business to director. So we need to figure out some way to sort of group you guys together. So I have a few ideas with my little meeting with Charlotte, last week when down at the campground. So
Name dropper.
She's the only name I have that I can drop. I'm not, Oh, Terry Bales Nichols, too.
Terry Bales?
Yeah, everybody knows Terry Bales Nichols.
Terry, where's my Q-tip?
Dang it.
It's right there. I see it.
Do you see my board back here fell off my wall, and my Q-tip was the only thing that stayed on my desk? You see Anna's face back there?
I did see my face on your...
Yeah, Anna's face is on.
Shannon, do you remember that from Louisville?
That face is in my kitchen, actually.
Excuse me. Do you know this lady?
I know.
Megan, a couple of years, 3 years ago at conference, I had Anna's face blown up.
It was the year I promoted to executive.
So it was blown up the size of our face, and I put it on a paint stick. And so when she walked, everybody on our team had the stick. But I had the stick, and I would walk by her, and I would put it up, and so they couldn't see my face. And I'd be like, and she's standing right next to me. Excuse me, do you know this lady? And people were falling out.
And then we went to see my idol, Jamie Johnson, my boyfriend, and in concert, remember?
Yeah.
And you flashed it to him as he was coming off the
The face. That's it. That's all I flashed.
I was like, wait a minute, what?
While I was flashing this, it was going,
This is recorded, Anna.
oh yes, I was not doing that.
You are not.
We don't
No.
do that.
There's an easier peach pie.
This recording may not be posted.
Yeah, I saw that Spanish porn in the background. My God.
All right, I'm going to stop the recording just so